On the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up. I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got to go.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Ah.
Yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You feel me? And you already know what's going down today, bruh. So guess what? Turn it off. Turn it all the way off now, boy. Oh my goodness, yeah. How is everybody doing today? Please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life, that there sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. And it is a beautiful 80-plus degree day here in the Richmond, VA. It is Monday, May the 2nd, 2022. So trust me, that 2022 year is flying by already as it does. I said it before and I'm going to say it a million more times. Once you become a grown-ass adult, nothing moves faster than time. But I definitely hope everybody has a wonderful and blessed day. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed week. We got a lot of sports to talk about, but before I do so, yesterday was funny. Yesterday was funny as hell. Now, y'all know my brother Sean. Matter of fact, if you listen to the Sports Plus Life NFL draft, which was spur of the moment, it was his idea. And if you listen to it, it was me, him, and Tony were just having a good old time. And then Sean had the outage with his cable, and he was fussing the whole time. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. But we were talking on yesterday, on Sunday, because Sean, my daughter, stayed at Sean's house Saturday night. My daughter and his daughter are besties. I mean, we brothers. Say they besties. They cousins. Their birthdays are one day apart from each other. London's birthday is January 25th. Jackson's birthday is January 26th. And so they go hang out. They love each other. It's all good. So we were talking pretty much all morning yesterday. And, sometimes when we talk, we reminisce on the days when we were back in the days when we were in school, and we were in this singing group. We had a singing group. I don't know how much detail I've gone into on this show. Was in a singing group called Too Unique. We were very good. I mean, it is what it is. We were very, very, very good. We had opportunities as far as being in the industry. I'm not going to go into detail with that, but we were great at what we did. We were a group from, I guess I will get into Wikipedia mode. We were a group from 1998 to 2001, and we based a lot of our music off of Boyz II Men and Drew Hill. Throw a little bit of Shy up in there, Casey and JoJo. We were good. Couldn't dance, and I couldn't dance. Let me correct that. They could dance. They had rhythm, especially Sean. Sean would do his thing. I was the weakest link when it came to dancing. Now I could do a choreographed dance because when I did the play and stuff like that, I had to do choreographed dances. But when it came to freestyle dancing, I got 2 left feet, maybe even 3. I don't know. It is what it is. And the funny thing is, and probably nobody would actually believe this, the older that I've gotten, I've actually developed better rhythm. I'm sure people may not believe that. I don't give a damn if you do or you don't. But me and Sean were talking about the group. And I tell you, about 5 minutes after we get off the phone, I get a message in my IM from Adrian to go. Get a message from Adrian. She sends me this picture. And it's a picture of the group in Florida from a trip that we took in 2000 with the school. I have never seen this picture before. Ever. I've never seen it. Sean's never seen it. I would assume Sterling and Roderick have never seen it. But when I get this picture, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This is an album cover. I'm gonna put it up now. Okay, this right here. This is an album cover. And whoever took, who did they say took this picture? A lady by the name of Ashley Allison, who I guess was in school. Who I guess was in school with us, was on the trip with us at the time. God bless you, Ashley. But this is an album cover. It is. It's the Florida palm trees in the background. For some reason, we are actually color coordinated. While I was asked when I posted to Facebook, because I did. I told Adrian, I said, I got to post this. I called Sean right after I posted it. I said, I'm going to stay on the phone with you because I want to hear your reaction. And we both was bugging out over it because we'd never seen this picture before. And one of my Facebook friends, one of my friends in general, Brandy Kale, said, all right, did you guys plan that out? Okay, we're going to wear this. I'm telling you, this was not planned. But we are perfectly coordinated. Everybody has on white and either blue shorts or blue jeans. They are in, Sean, Roderick, and Sterling are in wife beaters with towels draped over them. Look, they had a better physical physique than me. I wasn't wearing wife beaters at that time for nobody. I mean, I was, trust me, I wish I had that high school body. Wish I had that high school spirit. I mean, that youthful energy, like Sean was saying yesterday on Facebook. But it was so perfectly coordinated. It was like, and it was an accident. Because I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to keep it 100% real with you. We had that superstar swag, and particularly when we was out in public. This is not me patting myself on the back, being full of myself, but we had that superstar swag. It's not that we carried ourselves like we were better than anybody, because we didn't. We were goofy. Everybody would tell us how immature we were because we were so damn goofy. But I remember, and I'm not making this up, we would be out in public during this trip when we'd be walking around the amusement park, and people who we never seen before in our life would stop us and ask could they take a picture with us, the four of us. I'm not making this up. That would literally that happen all the time when we were on that trip. People would just stop us and say, hey, can I take a picture with you guys? And we would just kind of look at each other, kind of laugh a little bit like, yeah, sure. And people would ask us, are you guys famous? And we'd be like, well, we are a singing group where our name is Too Unique. But we're here on a high school trip with, we go to Highland Springs High School, and we're here on a chorus trip. But yeah, the four of us are an individual group. Hi, my name is Brandon, Sean, Roderick, and Sterling. I mean, I'm not making this up. I'm really not. Now, also, what I do remember about that trip is that before we left to go to Florida on this trip, we basically said what we were going to wear. And we said, okay, we're going to Florida. It's hot. Basically, we were saying, okay, it's either white tees or wife beaters. White tees, wife beaters, and shorts. And flip-flops. Or flip-flops, sneakers, whatever. But as far as, top wear, bottom wear, it was either white tees, wife beaters, and shorts. Or if it was a shirt that we had to wear because of the festival that we were a part of, which was the reason for the whole trip. That's it. So we stayed true to what we was going to do. And whoever caught this live action photo, Ashley, you're a genius. You are a genius. I mean, what do we got here? I mean, okay, I guess I'm the one who had to be different. I didn't have one of those fisherman hats. But you saw my boys were swagging them out. They swagging them out now. And of course, I didn't wear the wife beater. I wore the white tee. You see Sean right there with the wife beater in the towel. He got a little Disney bag because he was spending money. We was bowling. I'm talking cold cash, thousands of dollars. Money stacked so tall, all the bitches want to fall. And you like Sterling, look at it. Sterling not even looking at the camera. You know what I'm saying? He not even looking at the camera. You know, he got the towel around his neck like it's a cape or something. But you know what I'm saying? He was swagging out, thugging it out. And Roderick, you know, and Roderick is back there thugging it out. You know, got the fish hat cocked to the side. You know what I'm saying? We're doing our thing. Too unique. I'm serious, man. I'm serious. So that was just funny. Yeah, I posted this and local Facebook kind of blew up. And I do mean local Facebook. But anyway, that was fun. That was fun. I posted, bruh, if this ain't an album cover, I don't know what is. From the 99 and the 2000, and then the laugh out loud emojis, hashtag them boys was too cool. I mean, for real. So that was funny to me. I did. That was a trip. It really was. And we had a damn good time that trip. We really did. So definite shout out to all of my peoples out there. Definitely my HS family. Adrian, thank you for sending me that picture. You already know how much I love you. You already know that you the GOAT. Ashley Allison, the person who took this picture, we are now Facebook friends. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for taking this picture. And I just hope that everybody again has a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day, has a wonderful, blessed week. I love all of you guys. I'm still getting a kick off of this picture. But anyway, without further ado, folks, let's get to it. And by the way, man, want them some fly 16-year-olds? Want them some fly 16-year-olds? Anyway, the NBA second round of the playoffs officially got underway yesterday. Our matchups are set. We have in the Eastern Conference the Miami Heat against the Philadelphia 76ers. They tip off tonight. And then the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks, they tipped off yesterday. In the Western Conference, you have the Phoenix Suns against the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks advancing in the playoffs for the first time since they won the championship back in 2011. They tip off tonight as well. And yesterday, matchup tipped off between the second-seeded Memphis Grizzlies and the third-seeded Golden State Warriors. And wow, what a game. Just a quick recap. Last week's action, if you listen to Sports Plus Life NFL Draft Edition, I was giving updates on the Phoenix versus New Orleans game, as well as Dallas and Utah. Both of those games, both of those series came to an end on Thursday night. The Golden State Warriors also took care of business against the Denver Nuggets. And then again in the Eastern Conference, the Milwaukee Bucks, after there were questions, after losing Chris Middleton, they just simply slaughtered the Chicago Bulls the last three games. They did. They simply smacked the Bulls in the mouth. And after all of the questions in regards to the Philadelphia 76ers, when it looked like they would possibly blow a 3-0 lead, the Sixers went to Toronto and handled business. I was also giving updates on that game Thursday as well. And Miami took care of business against ATL. So the second round matchups are set. And again, it's kicked off yesterday, when the first game was the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. Now, we all know by now the Boston Celtics put together the shock of the first round. Not necessarily that because they won the series, because they beat the favored Brooklyn Nets, but because they swept them. Not because they beat them, but the way that they beat them. They swept them. Now, mind you, all four games were relatively close. But you could just see Brooklyn was a superior team, not individual players. Excuse me, not Brooklyn. Boston was a superior team as far as emphasis on teams, not when it came to just being individual players. So you got the Boston Celtics, all the momentum. You got Robert Williams back, one of your stalwarts on defense, to go along with Marcus Smart, who's Defensive Player of the Year. And then you have the Milwaukee Bucks coming in, even though the last three games, again, they slaughtered the Chicago Bulls. Even after losing Chris Middleton, report comes that Chris Middleton will probably have to miss the entire second round series. I'm like, man, but you know what? This is what makes a champion, because what the Milwaukee Bucks did yesterday is roll into TD Bank Garden and simply smack the Celtics in the mouth. They punched them right in their chest, bowled them right in their mouth, stepped right on their feet, and kneed them in the balls. Because pretty much after the first quarter of that basketball game, The Milwaukee Bucks, tell you, man, this is why they showed yesterday why I've been saying Milwaukee all year coming out of the East. Now, when I heard the news about Middleton, I was like, gosh, I think that tips things in the direction of the Boston Celtics. Milwaukee is a champion. Giannis Antetokounmpo, I have to say now, he is the best player in basketball. And he didn't even have a great game yesterday. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even have a great game yesterday by Giannis standards. But the Boston Celtics have absolutely no answer for Giannis Antetokounmpo. They don't. And like I said, he didn't even have a good game by his standards. He had a triple-double, 24 points, 13 rebounds, 12 assists, only shot 9 for 25 from the field. But they have nobody can do anything with him. All I was hearing about in the first round, when Robert Williams gets back, yeah, that will work against Brooklyn. This ain't Brooklyn, damn it. This is the reigning, defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks, what I'm starting to see with Milwaukee, I'm starting to see them be in the Eastern Conference version of the San Antonio Spurs. You know, they're well coached. They give up a little bit. They give up too many open threes for me. But Marcus Smart now has a shoulder stinger. He's questionable for game 2. And you're getting a team that is a far superior defensive team than that of the Brooklyn Nets. It just is what it is. Jason Tatum didn't have a good game yesterday, by Jason Tatum standards. I'm sure that he'll bounce back. Tatum was 21 points, 6 for 18 from the field. Jaylen Brown wasn't any better. Matter of fact, he was worse, 4 for 13 for 12 points. God damn it! But you're going to find a commitment to defensive excellence when you talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. You can put Bobby Portis on Jason Tatum. You can put Drew Holiday, who was phenomenal yesterday. Drew Holiday was absolutely terrific in the absence of Chris Middleton. You can put him on Jaylen Brown. Remember how Steph Curry says about the Golden State Warriors, they have championship DNA? The Milwaukee Bucks have championship DNA. Nothing rattles them. Nothing is going to rattle them. And they're going to be tough. I know it's just one game, but Milwaukee has already seized home court. They've already taken home court away from the Celtics. It's the first loss in the playoffs for the Boston Celtics. Now, of course, like I said, I'm not going to go into system overload, hit the panic button, but I'm going to say this. Giannis is the best in the NBA. I've been saying KD for the last 6 years, but, I understand he doesn't have the same skill set as Kevin Durant, but you cannot stop him. I saw the same Boston Celtics defense 3 of the 4 games stop Kevin Durant. You ain't doing that with Giannis, bruh. You're not. This is a different fucking animal.
Bye, bitch.
And now he's a champion, and he knows what it takes to get it done. And the dude is, he's only 27 years old, 26, 27 years old, and he's getting better. He's getting better, and he wants it. I said this before. He wants it. He wants that greatness. He really wants to take that greatness by the throat and say, I'm here. And again, not going into panic mode, if I'm looking at things from the Celtics perspective, but the Marcus Smart's injury could be concerning. But this team in Milwaukee, man, they've been playing together for a while, and they, like I said, they now have the upper hand because they have taken the home court advantage away from the number 2 seeded Boston Celtics. In the other game, which was the game of the day, it was the outstanding game. The Golden State Warriors defeated the Memphis Grizzlies 117-116. So I never gave a final score with Boston and Milwaukee. 101-89 Bucks. But 117-116, Golden State over the Memphis Grizzlies. Klay Thompson hits a 3 with about 36 seconds left. That turned out to be the game-winning basket, even though Klay tried to give it right back, missing 2 free throws at the end, but he played outstanding defense on the final play of the game against Memphis's Ja Morant, who had an outstanding game himself, throwing up 34 points, damn near having a triple-double. Morant 34, 9, and 10, respectively. Also, Jaren Jackson showed up for the Memphis Grizzlies, 33 points, 6 of 9 from the three-point land. Now, for Golden State, again, they have now taken the home court advantage away from the Memphis Grizzlies. Steph Curry has 24 points. Klay Thompson, mere 15. Jordan Poole, they moved Jordan Poole back to the bench, but the third splash brother, that is Jordan Poole, 31 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. Let me tell you something. Golden State is a problem. Even with Draymond Green getting ejected. I mean, how about Draymond Green getting thrown out the game? Now, some people have been back and forth on whether Draymond should have been thrown out the game. I mean, all I'm going to say is once I saw it, I knew he was going to get thrown out the game. I mean, he did his best effort to try to hold him up from hitting the floor, but tugging the jersey in midair, I figured that's okay. If Jackson Hayes from the New Orleans Pelicans is going to get ejected for bull rushing Jay Crowder in the first round of the Suns-Pelicans series, I said, yep, Draymond is probably going to get thrown out. Didn't want to see him thrown out because I'll say this before, I'll say it again. We don't pay to see the referees. Fans don't walk through the turnstiles to see the referees. We don't tune into the game to watch the damn referees. But, I mean, I pretty much knew that was going to happen. Now, the way Draymond left the game was special. Looked very Antonio Brown-ish. You know, trying to hype the crowd up. That's how you know Draymond is back healthy again, because he got that attitude about him. Everything about that game was tailor-made for Memphis to win. I mean, really. You know, Steph played pretty good. He could have played better. Clay had a better second half than the first half, but missed those 2 late-game free throws. Jordan Poole was sensational. But you got Clay missing clutch free throws. You have Steph Curry missing wide-open three-point shots at the near the end of the game. You got Draymond Green ejected from the game, and Memphis still lost. This is what I said. This is what I was telling Tony. I was telling a couple of my friends last week when Memphis was up on the Minnesota. I said, for all intents and purposes, if Minnesota knew how to hold a lead, they would have won that series in 5 games. The mistakes that the Timberwolves make during a basketball game, that's not going to happen with Golden State. That is not going to happen with the Golden State Warriors. They, Steph Curry said they got championship DNA. They do. Like the Bucks have championship DNA. And Memphis, they blew a golden opportunity to go up 1-0 in this series, because everything was right there for them to win. Everything. And they still lost by 1 point. So they lost the game. They lost home court advantage. I'm sure Draymond is going to get fined. I hope they don't do that bullshit that they did in 2016 and suspend him. But it was an outstanding game, though. That was a great, great, great game. I have been locked into these playoffs, unlike the way that I was locked into the regular season. That was an awesome, awesome game. I really enjoyed it. And it should be an awesome series, but I got Golden State winning this series. Matter of fact, it wouldn't surprise me if this series ended in 5 games, but we got 5 really close games. Just Golden State came out on top at the end of each game. That wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Memphis's players, Ja Morant was spectacular. Ja Morant did what Ja Morant does. Like I said earlier, 34 points. 34 points. Now, he took 31 shots to get it. I mean, and another thing that went Memphis's way, you got 33 from Jaren Jackson. And you still lost the damn game. I mean, because Desmond Bane didn't play well. Dylan Brooks didn't play well. So your other key guys, and it's funny how during the last series, everybody was saying that Anthony Edwards looks like a football player, but don't Desmond Bane look like a damn fullback? Look like a little bowling ball? But that's neither here nor there. But Brooks or Bane, your second and third best players, did not play well at all for Memphis. And you didn't play well at all for Memphis, but you still had the game right there. Everything was on a silver platter for you, and you didn't get it done. Like I said, just game 1. Like I said, like I tell the Celtics, like I tell the Grizzlies, the teams that you play in this series, they are champions. They are battle tested. They built for this. Are you? Golden State is built for this. Do you understand that the last 5 times that the Golden State Warriors have been in the playoffs prior to this season, they have gone to no less than the NBA Finals? Golden State don't know what it's like to lose in the Western Conference playoffs. They don't. They are built for this. And when you have a chance to steal a game, even if it is on your home court, you got to get that done, bruh. You have got to get that done. I ain't bullshitting with you. I'm gonna circle back around to the playoffs. Let me quickly go to the sweet science. Undefeated unification fight in the lightweight division between Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. Good fight. I mean, well, good crowd, hype crowd, intense crowd. Shakur Stevenson came out and was a master. He was masterful. It was a masterful performance. Shakur Stevenson is now 18-0. Oscar Valdez came into the fight 31-0, and he kept Valdez off balance, and he didn't even mind fighting inside with him. His hand speed was superior. His boxing technique was superior, and and the scorecards were correct, pretty one-sided. And Shakur Stevenson has got bigger fights. He's got bigger fish to fry. I would like to see him fight Tank Davis or Devin Haney or Cam Boots. I would like to see him fight one of those guys. And then he proposed to his girlfriend, which I thought was just so special. He did. He proposed to his girlfriend right after the fight. They have a kid. His girlfriend is Young Lyric, the rapper from Houston, Texas, baby. So yeah, congratulations to those two. And he did the proposal right after his interview. So he did it on national TV so everybody could see. So congratulations to Shakur Stevenson, Young Lyric, and also the lightweight division of getting a unified champion. But I'm gonna be honest with you, the real fight was at Madison Square Garden. The biggest fight in the history of women's boxing between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Did you see it? It was on the Zone. Sold out Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. And that was the fight of the year. I don't give a damn. I'm not just talking about the fight of the year in women's boxing. That was the fight of the year in boxing, period. It was the female version of Gotti versus Ward. Oh my God. I mean, very rarely when you have a fight with that much hype, especially in the women's realm of boxing. Like I said, this was the biggest fight in the history of female boxing, and it lived up. You don't get that a lot. When you have hype built for a fight, sometimes you can end up being disappointed, but these two ladies slugged it out. I mean, there was a point in time early in the fight when I thought that Amanda Serrano was going to knock out Katie Taylor. Then late in the fight, Katie Taylor stunned Serrano. It was a split decision victory for Katie Taylor. She retains her belt. She retains her status as pound for pound the best in the world as far as women's boxing is concerned. But I guarantee you that there is going to be a rematch of this fight, and I want all the smoke because I'm serious. That fight was special. That fight was special. And Jake Paul, gotta give him credit too. He did a hell of a job of helping promote this fight. He came to the ring. He walked to the ring with Amanda Serrano. He did a hell of a job of helping promote that fight in what really truly was the biggest fight in the history of female boxing. When you sell out Madison Square Garden for a fight, you have done something. And it wasn't the small room in Madison Square Garden. This was Ali Frazier ring, Madison Square Garden. Okay, the fight was hype. The fight was lit. It was intense. It was a war. And if they decide to do it again, I'm here for it. I'm serious. I am here for it. I told y'all how litty boxing was fitting to be. I told y'all that boxing is going to be unbelievable this spring and this summer, and we just getting underway, baby. We just getting underway. 2 weeks ago, we had Spence beating Ugas. Last week, we had Tyson Fury beating Dillian White. Now we had Shakur Stevenson beating Oscar Valdez and Katie Taylor narrowly beating Amanda Serrano. Let's get it. Next week, next Saturday, Canelo Alvarez fights Dimitri Bivol, moving back up to the light heavyweights. It's on the Zone. Well, the Zone pay-per-view. It's on pay-per-view. If it ain't just on the Zone itself, I'm sorry, I ain't buying it. I just want to see Canelo fight a better name. No disrespect to Canelo, no disrespect to the game of boxing, but there are better fights that are going to be on the horizon, better fights that I would rather spend my money on than Canelo versus Bivol. Now, but that doesn't mean that coming up in the next few weeks that I won't be willing to spend my money on some of these fights that be coming up, because after that, Charlo and Castano fight, and then 2 weeks later, Tank Davis fights. Yes! Okay? Yes! Oh, man, I'm sorry. I love it when boxing is effing relevant. You feel me? Because again, that crowd in that Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano fight was absolutely epic. It was amazing. But anyway, on the line now, you know I got my dog, Big Tony. What it do, homie?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up?
These playoffs, I'm gonna veer back to these NBA playoffs. The second round has started. Did you catch yesterday's games?
I did not.
Ooh, sir. How dare you?
Hey, life.
No, I understand.
Life with wife.
That rhymes too. Life with wife.
Exactly.
Ooh, I got something I gotta share with you, but that's not for wax purposes. That's not for wax purposes. I might text you while we on the phone here and let you know what's up. But anyway, well, what happened is you saw two teams with championship DNA get the job done. You know, the beginning of the Milwaukee-Boston game, Boston was pumped up. They had an early lead, but by the second quarter, Milwaukee took control of the game and never gave it back, Middleton or no Middleton. Giannis didn't even have that great of a day by Giannis standards, but he still put up a triple-double, 24, 12, and 13. Drew Holiday was sensational. Drew Holiday was absolutely amazing yesterday. So was Portis. So was Grayson Allen. So was Connaughton. When I see them play like that, it shows me why all season, and you know I've been consistent with this all season. I've said Milwaukee out the East all year.
Yeah, you did say that. Matter of fact, hold on. I'll answer my own question. Continue talking. I'm going to look at the box score because I'm going to answer my own question.
Well, you know, Robert Williams is back. As you know, he came back in the Brooklyn series, but he was in the starting lineup. Marcus Smart got dinged up. He had a little shoulder stinger injury. He left the game and did not return. But they are so much more physically dominant. And one thing that you're seeing that the Bucks do, that you're seeing less and less of in today's NBA, the Bucks sent an absolutely huge, gargantuan team out on the floor. As far as the starting lineup, you got Drew Holiday and Wesley Matthews. Then you got Giannis, Portis, and Lopez. So you got 6'10", 6'11", and 7'1" on your front line. And the thing about that is, Boston has no answer for their own. They have no interior game themselves. None. Forget the fact.
I ain't gonna say none, but what I'll say is the matchup inside, even the size thing. On paper, Boston can kind of throw a bigger lineup out there to counter that. The problem is all those guys are slow-footed, and outside of Lopez, Bucks, other big Portis and Giannis are athletic.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Boston as far as
Horford can play inside. He's small playing against the Lopez, but he can still provide that inside.
Well, what I saw yesterday, Boston had no interior game whatsoever. They didn't even try to put Horford on the inside. No, the most Horford did was maybe get a rebound or two and then spot up and shoot threes. They didn't even try.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at the box score, and Horford had 12 and 10 on 4 for 11 shooting. Williams, 6 and 8, on 3 for 6. He played 22 minutes. Tice, for some reason, only played 4 minutes. That's not going to do it. That starting lineup is big because Middleton is out. So you're going to have to play these guys.
Well, yeah, well, absolutely. And like I said, if you saw the game, Milwaukee has a championship swag about them. It's, now that they've won a title, it's kind of nothing is going to faze them.
I'm not, but now flipping over this box score, I'm going to say this, and I didn't see it. You saw it, but I'm going to say this. I don't think this series, I think, game one, maybe an outlier. I can't really tell too much by it. Because Giannis, while he had those numbers, he shot 9 for 25.
Yeah, that's why I said he didn't even have a good game by Giannis standards.
Drew Holiday was 8 for 20. Only Bobby Portis is the only person that shot 50%.
Like I said,
everybody else was 2 for 7, 3 for 7.
Like I said, if you saw, don't be deceived by those box scores. If you saw the game, when every time Boston would look like they were trying to get close, Drew Holiday made a big play. Drew Holiday either made a big three or made a big defensive play. Drew Holiday was.
I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is the same thing that make you laugh, make you cry. On the other side of the fence, Tatum didn't have a big game.
No, he didn't.
18, and he only had 21 points.
They had Bobby Portis and Holiday all over him.
Mr. Brown only had 12 points.
Drew Holiday all over him.
For 13. Horford, 4 for 11. Marcus Smart, 3 for 11.
He didn't finish the game.
And then Robert Williams, the only person that shot 50% at 3 of 6. Everybody else was 2 of 6, 2 of 6, 2 of 8, 0 for 2. So they just had a bad shooting game. They don't expect them to shoot that next game. That is just not realistic.
It's just tough for me because you telling me that you didn't see it. Because like I said, you said the same thing to make you laugh, make you cry. Like I said, I watched the game from start to finish, and yeah, Boston had a bad shooting game, but a lot of that bad shooting game was because of Milwaukee's defense. Now, one thing I will say that Milwaukee did a lot of in the Chicago series that wouldn't make me comfortable is the Bulls had so many wide open threes, they just didn't make them. That was not the case yesterday. They were up in Boston. They were, after that first quarter, they locked down defensively. They like I said, they took over the game in the second quarter. They were up by 10 at halftime, and they never released it. It was times where they were up 17, 18 points. Miami would score maybe about six straight. Then Drew Holiday would make a three, or would make a steal, or Bobby Portis would get a block. It was those ebbs and flows of the game. The game was Milwaukee dominated from the second quarter on. Milwaukee dominated the game. Giannis statistically didn't have a good shooting game, but they couldn't do anything with him on the inside from a defensive standpoint. I'm talking Giannis's defense. It was like I said, it was only game one. But like I said, the Bucks got championship DNA, and just watching yesterday just reminds me of why I said Milwaukee out the East all year. Just game one, but if you do that without Middleton, and now Marcus Smart is injured, we'll see. We'll see. And now the game that you really should have watched was Golden State Memphis. That shit was crazy.
Well, Memphis is a good defensive team, and if you force, you saw it. Who primarily defended Ja?
Ooh, they threw a number of defenders at Ja. Steph, they threw Steph at Ja. Steph, Clay, Jordan Poole, Wiggins at times. I know the biggest play of the two biggest defensive plays in the game, Steph and Clay came up big time, because it was one Klay Thompson had just made a three to give Golden State the lead. It was 30 seconds left. Ja was driving to the hole, and Steph stripped him, made him lose control of the ball. And then after Klay misses two free throws to making a three-point lead, he guards Ja on the last play. Remember how Ja cut to the left and made that acrobatic layup against Minnesota to win Game 5?
Yeah.
They tried to pretty much do the same thing, except he didn't get a chance to jump up where he could make any mid-air adjustments. It was more like a left-handed scoop layup. Klay defended it great, and then Wiggins, if I'm not mistaken, it was either Wiggins or Gary Payton, was able to also come over and damn near block the shot. They defended it perfect. They really defended it perfect. So, but Ja had a great game. He took 31 shots to get his 34 points, but they had no answer for Ja as far as when he got into the paint. Desmond Bane didn't show up. Dylan Brooks didn't show up. Now, but everything was silver platter for Memphis to win that game, because they were up by double digits a couple of times in the game. It looked at one point that they may be able to put some distance between them and Golden State. And then it really wasn't like Steph had 24 points. He played pretty, he didn't have a great game by Steph standards, especially late in the game when he was missing wide open threes to give Golden State the lead. Jordan Poole, they didn't start him this game. They started Gary Payton, and put Poole back on the bench. Jordan Poole came off the bench, dropped 31 points. He damn near had a triple-double. Clay had a miserable first half, but he played better in the second half. And, Draymond got ejected.
Wow.
You didn't see Draymond get ejected?
No, I didn't see the game.
I mean, but you haven't seen any highlights on him getting ejected?
I watched no highlights, no nothing.
Oh, boy, life and the wife really got you good yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. All right, player.
It was one of them, okay, put both phones away. Because if not, you sitting there picking and pecking, trying to eat dinner together. You sitting there picking and pecking, constantly checking. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, Draymond, and I know you'll see it eventually. Draymond got ejected in the second quarter. Brandon Clark went up for a layup, and Draymond pulled him by the jersey on the ground. He did try to hold him up from hitting the ground, but they threw him out the game. Draymond pulled an Antonio Brown when he left the court.
Jersey and everything, damn.
Not the jersey, but he ran off pumping his fists. He gave fives to all of his teammates. He was trying to hype the crowd up, ran around in a circle, and ran to the locker room.
Wow. That series may have the margins of a 7-gamer.
Oh yeah. I mean, that series could go 7 games, but I also wouldn't be surprised if I saw the Warriors take them out in 5, but winning 5 very tight, close games. Because it could be that type of nip and tuck series. But the mistakes that the Timberwolves made, the Warriors are not going to make those mistakes. That's just not going to happen. And for all that will happen to the Warriors, Steph missing key shots, clutch shots, Clay missing 2 free throws, Draymond getting ejected, Jaren Jackson putting in 33 points for Memphis. You're making 6 threes. You didn't see that coming. Ja Morant putting up 34 points, and you still lost.
Yeah.
So, all of that, everything fell, and even I've heard so many talking heads say how that officiating kind of favored Memphis yesterday, and it really did. And you still lost. You still lost by 1 point.
I mean, in-game execution matters. Like that's in-game. The end of the game execution matters.
Well, it does. And like I said, the last 2 possessions for Minnesota, you had Ja get stripped by Steph, and he was guarded brilliantly by Clay. And yep, that stuff matters. And but that's gonna be the one. That's gonna be the one. Now, what do you think of Joel Embiid? The reports are that he'll probably be back for Game 3. What do you think of his injury?
We talked about it on a previous podcast. I mean, it's going to affect his shooting, so they have to adjust his game. And to that extent, it's going to be whack-a-mole time. If them dudes is smart, it's whack-a-mole time. Whack that hand every time you get a chance.
Well, yeah. Well, see, we talked about the hand, but what we didn't talk about was the orbital bone because that happened while we were actually doing the podcast for the NFL draft, and the Sixers were dragging the Raptors late in the game.
I don't know, because I've had that before, and I mean, if he's clear, he's clear. Like he's 2020, he's straight.
They'll put a mask on him.
I don't know. Huh?
They'll put the Rip Hamilton mask on him.
Yeah, and that may too affect shooting. So now you got the hand and the
eye
effect.
Yeah.
So again, he's a big man. He's 7 foot. Take your ass outside, get down on that block, and shoot from 2 feet, like normal people would.
Boy, I tell you, every game that Joel Embiid plays in this condition, because he's had 2 significant injuries.
We shall see what Joel Embiid really is, because we'll see.
But every time he steps on the floor, boy, he makes Ben Simmons look worse and worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he has 2 significant injuries. I mean, because we already know that it doesn't surprise me that, you're going to play with a finger that needs surgery. I mean, Kobe did that and won a title. Of course, not everybody has Kobe's pain tolerance or had Kobe's pain tolerance, but you know, the concussion and the orbital bone fracture. Now you need a mask, and I'm not ready to bury the Sixers yet, but man, that hurts because you know he's gonna miss the first 2 games.
Right.
So now it's time. Now, if you're Philadelphia, James Harden, time to step up. Can he do that?
Yeah. This legit is that time. You want that contract? Yeah, you got to play for it now.
Because it's not. I mean, because it's not. No, it's not. If you're a real team now, mind you, Sixers not having Embiid is totally different from the Bucks not having Middleton. But again, like you just said, James Harden, if you want that contract, you know, it's not you should have help. You know, Thibault, not Thibault. Well, he's a good defensive player, but Tyrese Maxey, he's emerged as your third option. Tobias Harris needs to move. Will have to step his game up some more. Yang and Shake Milton, we'll see, because Miami's deep.
This is true.
And also the Clippers and the Suns and the Mavericks tip off tonight as well. What do you expect? Remember I gave you the stat line on Thursday when me, you, and Sean were doing the podcast on the draft. Chris Paul's stat line, 14 for 14, 33 points, 4 made free throws, 4 for 4 on free throws. He pitched a perfect game. What do you expect from the Phoenix Suns in the Dallas Mavericks series?
I think Phoenix takes it because of overall the team dynamic and depth. I do expect Luka to show out, you know, but I think Phoenix just takes it. There's too much talent. You got one guy, and there's no disrespect to Maverick saying they one guy, but really it's one guy.
Hold on now. You've seen Jalen Brunson, right?
I saw Jalen Brunson. It's one guy. This is a different animal, and yeah, you know, Phoenix was given trouble by the Pelicans, but I do not see Dallas presenting that same problem. I think that was a bad matchup for Phoenix, and so it made people think that perhaps Phoenix is overrated, but they're not.
I don't think Phoenix is over. Yeah, I don't think Phoenix is overrated.
If they're clicking on all cylinders, they shred Dallas clicking on all cylinders.
I'm just wondering about how compromised is Booker, because Booker's clearly not 100%.
I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out. I mean, that same question loomed around Luka coming back, and we found out, right?
Yeah.
So you got to let them play, and then we'll see. After that, we'll come back and reevaluate one way or the other. But you know, on paper, those are the matchups, and on paper, Phoenix just smoked them.
Yeah, I've been saying pretty much since the All-Star break, the Western Conference Final that I wanted to see was Phoenix and Golden State, and I also said the Eastern Conference Final that I wanted to see would be Miami and Milwaukee, even though I'm low-key going to be probably rooting for Philadelphia to beat Miami. But like I said earlier when I first got on the podcast, the second round of the playoffs are underway. We have 2 in the books, and we have 2 tonight. Now, sir, who do you think won the NFL draft?
Ravens. Ravens.
Did you get my text after we got off the phone on Thursday?
I did, and I understand now. Here's the thing. I understand their thinking and why not Lindenbaum. I personally wanted him because, again, Travis Frederick and the dynamic of the center being, to me, the most important part of that line. He helps everybody if he's a cerebral guy like Frederick was. But the knock on Lindenbaum is small. He's a small guy, but that didn't seem to deter him in college. But he's going to a grown man league
and to a grown man team, the Ravens.
And they wanted and now looking at Tyler Smith and what they saw in terms of that and that penalty thing, I was wrong. he did get those penalties because he was playing tackle. As guard, he didn't get those penalties, and over 2 years gave up 2 sacks. So that's what they drafted him for, guard. So it makes sense. And he had the highest run blocking grade out of all the old linemen. So it made sense in terms of that. But from the tackle, when Kuiper was talking about the penalties, it's when he was playing tackle. Because he played more than one.
So you think the Ravens won the draft? Who else? Who do you think was closest to the Ravens?
I think a number of teams did well. I don't think, in my opinion, generally, I don't think anybody was actually close to the Ravens. And now, in terms of draft, you could look at Philly's draft and then combine free agents and say, yeah, they had a good night. I mean, combine trade things.
Well, yeah, I was just speaking totally draft, not trade for free agency.
Right. So just straight up, just the guys they drafted. I don't think. Honestly, I think the Lions had a good night.
I do. I would say the Lions, and I would also say the Giants. The Giants actually did address every need that they were looking to get as far as in the offseason. But we have some breaking news. I don't know if you've heard. Deandre Hopkins has been suspended for 6 games for violating the NFL policies, for violating the league's policy on performance enhancing and drugs.
I mean, 6 games,
He'll get that reduced to 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's been out, so it's not like, yeah.
And the Saints have agreed to a 3-year, $33 million contract with Tyron Matthew.
That helps their D a lot.
Tyron Matthew, who starred at LSU, he's going home.
3 year what?
3 years, $33 million.
Mm-hmm.
$18 million guaranteed.
Ooh, I'm gonna say, I don't know how to assess that money for him. Again, it helps their D, but the contract. Nobody was beating his door down. Let's put it that way. He's a good player, but nobody was beating his door down. So they may have overpaid a little bit, but I mean,
well, well, think about it. They Malcolm Jenkins retired. You lost Marcus Williams to the Ravens, and so you had to address that. Now not only did they sign Tyron Matthew, but they also signed former Jets safety Marcus May earlier in the month. And they're also looking to be a front runner to sign Jarvis Landry as well.
All right. Well, I mean, again, I don't have. I think that's actually a good pickup. It's again the money dynamic. They might have been able to get them a little bit cheaper, but again, I'm not. Their salary. I don't think it's a massive overpay, so it's a good deal.
Yeah, I agree. So and let's see, the Falcons released Mike Davis. Okay. Who do you think has won the NFL offseason so far?
It's going to sound crazy coming off the heels of last year's playoffs where I expected a lot more from this team, but I think they're in a position to do a lot more maybe now because of pieces move, subtle pieces, and I think the Colts. Okay. I think the Colts have made, I think they've won it. Because a lot of other teams, on paper, you might look at a team like Miami, but there's so many questions surrounding Tua. Yeah, you got him weapons, no doubt. But what is he going to do with them? And you get that sense like Ryan, he probably has arguably the most complete team he's had. Atlanta had some good teams, even when they went to the Super Bowl. Was that team roster-wise better than this Colts team is constructed? I don't think so.
Well, they got hot at the right time too.
Right. So I think he has an opportunity, a real opportunity, particularly with Tennessee taking a step back.
Did they?
Yeah. I think he has an opportunity to go. I mean, it's tough in the AFC, so that's going to be a thing. But the Colts.
Okay. I'm not trying to be a homer here, but my Denver Broncos have smoked this offseason.
And the Buffalo Bills.
Again, I'm not going to be a homer.
Good got better.
Oh, well, I don't disagree there, but from a totality package, I believe my Broncos have smoked this offseason. Not only would
they may very well on paper.
Well, you can say that about everybody.
But that's what essentially.
You can say that about the Colts. You can say that about Buffalo. So I mean, we're all doing it on the same prognostication. You think the Colts and Buffalo? I don't have an issue with that. But it's fine. And I'm not saying this as to be a homer. I'm looking at the totality, free agency, draft. I think my Broncos have smoked it this offseason. Not just Russell Wilson. Of course, that's the most important piece. But we have revamped our whole defensive line to rush the passer. Adding Gregory, DJ Jones. We drafted Nick Bonito, outside linebacker. We also got a tackle from the Green Bay Packers. We've addressed every issue. We drafted another cornerback to go along with Patrick Surtain. We got a tight end, Greg Dulcich from UCLA, who pretty much has the same skill set as Noah Fant, the one who we had to part ways with in the Russell Wilson trade. I think that we have maybe the only one weakness that we have as a team may be in the linebacker position. Like I said, even though we just drafted an outside linebacker, but what the hell? The Rams' weakness was the linebackers last year. The Bengals' weakness was linebackers last year, and they played in the Super Bowl. So I'm ecstatic on what my Broncos have done on paper, because not only do I agree with you about the Colts, I agree with you about the Bills. The Eagles have made some huge noise as well. Right now, they look good on paper. I believe the only thing that can stop us this season is health, because I will say this now. I think we have the best team in the AFC West. In that loaded division, maybe the best in football, I think we have the best team. I said it on Thursday when we were doing the podcast for the draft. I said Broncos, Bills, AFC Championship game collision course. And I stand on it. Like I said, as long as health stays relatively intact, yeah, I think we're the best team in the AFC West.
Okay, we shall see.
We shall see.
We shall see. I think that other teams have made subtle moves over there that may question that. The Chargers made a couple subtle moves too that may question that particularly.
I get it. I know. Look, the AFC West to me, it's the best division in football.
I do think to jump straight to Broncos Bills when the Bengals are sitting there like, okay, didn't we just?
And that's tough for me, because I have a soft spot for Cincinnati, and I was just getting ready to get into the AFC North because. Did Baltimore just jump Cincinnati?
No.
Okay.
I don't think they did.
Okay.
Cincinnati added some pieces in areas of need.
Yes, they did.
Baltimore had a great draft. Cincinnati upgraded the existing.
Well, see, and I agree with you.
Continuity thing, I think that trip to the Super Bowl for them young dudes counts a lot. Now, getting a fully healthy Baltimore team with the additions that they made, additions by subtraction, mind you, but additions that they made, they could end up proving me wrong. I think it's going to be a tough battle between teams.
Yeah, because while I don't disagree with you, because we both agreed. I mean, hell, the Bengals are. I mean, they had a horrible offensive line and were 2 minutes away from winning the Super Bowl. They've addressed that. Now, if you're a Baltimore Raven fan, you can say, yo, we were 8-3. We were number one in the AFC. Then Lamar Jackson gets hurt. We don't win another game.
Yeah.
So, again, addition by subtraction. I think Lamar may have made a little fool out of himself by his tweet after Hollywood Brown got traded, because Hollywood knew. He just didn't tell Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Because he didn't want that news to get out there, because I guess he wanted to surprise Kyler Murray. A lot of people may have forgot Hollywood Brown went to Oklahoma. He played with Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield, who, by the way, did not get traded. What do you think's going to happen with Shake and Bake?
I think ultimately they would be wise to move him sooner than later because he doesn't strike me as a malcontent dude. He said his intention. He just wants to be in a position where he can compete. Well, that's not where he is. And there's no point in them holding him hostage as a backup quarterback. Now, they may be sitting saying, okay, if something happens with Watson and he gets, suspended for first part of the season, hey, we can fall back on Baker. But me personally, you made that decision. You already made your bed. You decided to move on from Baker. If you can try to pitch Baker and say, hey, those games that Watson may potentially be out, you can go out there and show out and increase your trade value and we'll move you. But in all actuality, Baker Mayfield is thinking, I want to be moved now because there are some teams in flux and I can actually compete for a starting job now. So you don't know what's going to happen with Watson, so you're going to hold me hostage based on a trade you made.
Yeah, and teams like Seattle could definitely use him.
And he's right in that. You made that decision. So, I mean, to be fair.
No, to be fair, he I don't disagree.
He's going to go to social media, and he's going to go to social media. So you see it ahead of time because he already has. Mm-hmm. Not in a malcontent way, but he's already went to social media. So it's only going to get worse if you keep him hostage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You need to move him.
Yeah, they
but like, you just go ahead and move him, and whatever happens with Deshaun Watson happens. But you can't just have him sitting there just in case, waiting on to see what Goodell, at NFL will or will not do, and then you screw him because these teams have already made decisions at quarterback, and then after, the NFL says holds off or something and the season comes around and then you talk about we'll trade you, he's not going to be in a position to compete for a starting job anywhere.
No, he's not. But the only thing that's just crazy is that nobody wants to give up any least little thing of value for Baker Mayfield. I really think these teams are waiting for him to be released.
They think he's going to be, because they think he's going to be released. I said my piece. Me personally, if it was me, I would give up something for him to avoid having to compete with anybody when he was released. I would give up a 6 in a heartbeat, 6th or 7th in a heartbeat.
Well, what if the Browns were looking for maybe a 5th round draft pick? Nothing like 2nd or 3rd, maybe a 5th round draft pick, and a team's not willing to do that.
I mean, it's still the same thing. You're stuck. You're stuck in that position. Is it worth it? Trying to hold this guy hostage for an extra round draft pick. It's not. It's moving. Once you made that decision, that would be the right thing to do because that's typically what teams do. Like every now and then you have that outlier and teams will hold on to a guy, but they've made their intentions clear that they are trading him. They'll hold on to him a little bit longer trying to get a better draft pick. But they always make it clear that, yes, we are trading him. The Browns have not made that clear. They haven't made anything clear. And so to him, it's like, pick a lane.
Yeah, well,
draft is done. Next thing up, OTAs, and come on, man, pick a lane. Give me options. I played for you. I played to the best, to what I feel to the best of my ability. And to be fair, when we first got there, he was playing. Like he legitimately, he wasn't the best guy, but he was balling.
Okay, yeah.
And he's a guy that played hurt and some other stuff. So come on, man. Not a bad. He's not a diva. He's not and so let's not even treat him like that. He's not a diva. He just wants a chance to compete.
Okay, well, I tell you what.
let's put it this way. Has Baker Mayfield ever given you this feeling? And he's an arrogant dude, as a lot of the NFL players are, but has he ever given you that feeling of entitlement? Like, I'm Baker Mayfield, so I deserve, such.
No. I never got that from him.
So he's a competitive guy. And
I did get a hint of drama queen from him, though.
Well, yeah.
Confrontational.
That's what I said. All NFL players kind of have that going on. Most do. Not all, but most got that kind of going on.
But no, entitled, no. I've never gotten that from him.
So
no.
let him. I think he's entitled to a shot to earn a different job in the NFL rather than sitting when the Browns have already made their choice.
Well,
but they're scared of what Goodell is going to do, so they're going to hold on to Baker. If I'm Baker, fine, hold on to me. I bet you I throw them first 6 games. I'm going to throw 12 picks in the first 6 games. Just because you held on to me and maybe,
Yeah, but that's not going to increase his trade value if he does that.
But it may get him released.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what he'll want, because the trade value thing, you think he cares about what the Browns get?
Well, yeah, because if he's released, he can be picked up by anybody.
Right. He don't care what the Browns get for him in trade.
Well, sir, when you first answered the phone, I was talking about boxing and the women's fight, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. I had to give big credit to a person who helped promote this fight into the event that it was. Again, sold out Madison Square Garden. One of the promoters was Jake Paul, and where I'm going with this is Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Sir, your thoughts?
I already said what I said on the podcast during the draft. Mike just need to go ahead and get that money and knock his head off, and maybe he'll decide, I don't want to fight ex-athletes no more. I'll stick to fighting celebrities or NBA players that want to jump into the boxing ring, but not the professional athletes in their own sport. So maybe that'll do it. Maybe that'll do it. If I'm Mike, it's an easy payday. I just go in there, and he was talking to Yang, but I do with the caveat that while this is an exhibition, it's going to be a full contact exhibition. Otherwise, I'm not.
No, this would not be an exhibition, sir. This would be a professionally sanctioned fight. Jake Paul would move up to heavyweight.
He was talking junk.
Yeah, Jake Paul would move to heavyweight. He would move up to heavyweight. This wouldn't be an exhibition. This would be a fight.
For that amount of money, if I'm Mike Tyson, I take that fight and get that bag.
I would definitely get that bag. I would definitely get that bag, and I don't think Mike Tyson. Of course, I think if Mike Tyson comes in the shape that he was when he fought Roy Jones, he will meet and defeat the YouTube sensation who actually thinks he's a boxer. Mike Tyson was.
All I want to know is, can I kill him? Can I kill him? All I want to know, can I kill him?
Can I do irreparable damage to himself and his career?
Exactly. That's it. That's it.
Mike Tyson was 220 pounds when he fought Roy Jones Thanksgiving of 2020. If he comes in at that weight, we have seen Jake Paul rocked at 175 pounds by a washed-up UFC fighter, Tyron Woodley. No disrespect to Tyron Woodley, but past his prime. So I'm just thinking about what a left hook from Mike Tyson would feel like on Jake Paul's chin. You know what it feels like? The count of 10. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Because it's one thing showing all due respect to the guy and saying, hey, I'd like to test my skills against you. I understand you're a killer, but I'd like to test my skills against you, versus how he's approaching it with talking trash.
Well, he has to talk trash to sell the fight.
Huh?
I said he has to talk trash to sell the fight, but what the mistake he's making is who he's talking trash to.
No, he don't, because Roy Jones, he didn't really talk a lot of trash.
But he isn't no, he didn't. But I mean, I get what you're saying, but Roy Jones is also an established legend. What Jake Paul is not realizing is, if you're fighting Mike Tyson, you don't have to talk trash. You're fighting Mike Tyson. That will sell itself.
Just say, you can talk trash by just simply saying he's old, and in his old age, I think I can take him because I'm young. That's talking trash without being disrespectful. He said some borderline disrespectful stuff. So, but it is what it is. Take the fight, Mike. Knock him out.
Yes, take the fight, Mike. Knock him the fuck out. Okay, yes. do that. Don't pull punches like you did against Roy Jones. That was an exhibition, I understand. This will be a fight that will go on your professional record. Knock him out in spectacular Mike Tyson fashion. And then get on the interview and talk about anything you want to talk about. Cannabis, Islam, people bothering you on airplanes, whatever.
Yeah,
but
I would see that happening. It's just a matter of what round I would see that happening, because that's just too much power. Even at his age, that's still too much power coming at you.
Well, sir, you said life got you yesterday with sports. I'm going to let life get me now. My children don't have school tomorrow. So I'm going to enjoy their company. And, sir, I will definitely get back at you during this week because I want to make sure that you're in tune with these guys. You going to watch the games tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to get back up on it. Like I said, life with wife.
It's all right. You don't have to apologize for that, or you don't have to explain yourself for that. Yeah, no, you got it.
Crazy movie, The Devil You Know, with Glenn Turman and Michael Ealy and Omar Epps.
No, I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, we watched that last night, so, yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know what to make of it. Maybe we'll watch it and then we'll circle back around and discuss it because it was strange. But
yeah, and I gotta I know Ozark came back on. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, I forgot. I knew that it was coming back, but I forgot the date. Yeah, so it's already on there. All right. Mm-hmm. On there. God damn it, life with wife.
Yes, Ozark came back last week, so I got Ozark, Winning Time. Yeah, Ozark and Winning Time, and Mike. What's the name of that movie with Michael Ealy and Omar Epps?
The Devil You Know.
Okay, and I did watch Moonfall. Good movie. Kind of strange at the end, but
it was strange.
Yeah, because when they got in the moon, that turn that it took, I was like, okay, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming, but a good movie. Halle Berry still look good.
Yeah,
Halle Berry still look good. But anyway, I will get at you, brother.
She ain't trying to get that. She on her third white man.
I know.
After Eric Benet, she on her third white man. So Eric Benet, meanwhile, living his best life with Prince's ex-wife. 3 kids. Yeah.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get at you, bro.
All right, man.
All right. Halle Berry. Tony a fool, man. Oh, he did catch me off guard with that one. But with that being said, what a buzzer. Oh man. This day here. I'm just totally so thankful for everything that is happening in my life, everything that I've been able to persevere through in my life. And, one reason why, when I got that picture, one reason why I guess I had so much fun with that is because it just takes me back to a place in time where things were so less complicated, even less complicated than 16-year-old me would have thought that they were. You just look back, you look at a photo like that, and you think about what you were doing and what your worries were and things of that nature. And, they are so much different now than they were then. I mean, I think about what things that I would stress about at the age of 16 than, as a grown adult with 2 children. And a grown adult, 2 children who's now, just rolling solo dolo, for lack of a better term. But and I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful, again, for everything that I've endured, everything that I've gone through. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. And what I'm really, looking forward to is the future. Now, one thing that One reason why I've been so thankful and so happy is because of that, because I am actually happy. For the first time in a while, I actually feel a hint of happiness, of true, complete happiness. Now, seeing my kids every day always makes me happy, but I'm more comfortable in my own skin than I've ever been before. And I don't know what the future holds as far as me and relationships, as far as, having a significant other. But I tell you this, if I go a nice little long stretch where I'm solo, it wouldn't bother me any, because for one, I have goals and aspirations that I am firmly focused on, particularly since this move took place. And like I said, I'm more comfortable in my skin than I've ever been. Am I perfect? Nope. Do I have it all figured out? Nope. Never will be perfect. Never will have it all figured out, because I'm a human being. We're human beings. We don't figure everything out. Even when there are people out there that think that they have. Life will give you a twist and turn that will make life laugh his ass off, but will make us as individuals be like, are you serious? Oh my goodness. And see, the fact that the goals that I'm setting, I have set, I'm setting to accomplish those on my own, and there are a lot of people who accomplish a lot of things on their own. That's going to be tough to men with another significant other in the future, because once you start accomplishing things on your own, and you've gone through situations that's given you reason to really kind of only want to depend on yourself, that's not easy. That's not easy for men and for women, because I know a lot of women out there who do their thing, single parents, single moms, who do their thing, who make sure that their kids are good, their roof is good, they bringing in the money that they need to bring in to make sure everything stays afloat. Good, solid Miss Independence. I love them. I really do. But it's hard for them too, because when you're used to getting it on your own, you feel like you can always get it on your own, and you're like, well, I don't necessarily need help from said other person trying to tell me what I feel like I've been doing good on. Not tell me something that I've already figured out, but tell me something that I already feel like I'm accomplishing well on my own. Now, some women may try to get a little too dominant with that, that some women may try to get a little too dominant on it, because if you're, I like this, I'll tell any woman this who's a Miss Independent, do your thing, baby, do your thing, boo boo. But if you do decide to take on a relationship with a significant other, don't try to, particularly with a man, just don't try to emasculate him. Don't do that. Don't try to belittle what a man is trying to accomplish with you. Because let me tell you something about me as a man. I ain't that dude who gets in my feelings if my woman is making more than me. I don't give a damn. I could care less, because if we supposed to be a team, we supposed to be a team. There's some men out there whose egos are that much on an ego trip. That they, that if financially they're not the breadwinner, they have an attitude. They feel like less of a man. I think that is stupid. But if you're a woman and you are the financial breadwinner, don't try to emasculate a man for that. No. Because if you're a team, then you're a team. I can do anything a man can do. No, you can't. If you can, piss standing up without pissing all over your damn self. Okay? I mean, if you want to get technical about it. And men, don't try to belittle or be misogynistic to a woman if you decide to take on another woman. If you decide to take on a woman as a partner after coming out of something that you may have been dealing with in the past. Don't do that. If you're a team, and see, that's when you have people who get it themselves, who are independent and they make accomplishments on their own, man or woman, that can be a tricky slope when you're looking to possibly build with another person. Just saying. But be that as it may, because one thing about me, I love to love. I love to show love. I love to give love. I love to receive love. But life has happened to me. It just has. where it just has my eyes open. It just has my eyes open. And I'm more conscious and aware of things that I wasn't before. Because one thing about me, I can be absent-minded. I can. I'm just being real. I can be absent-minded. It is what it is. But I'm more conscious, more aware. But because of the decisions that I've chosen to make, I'm actually very blessed and happy. Like I said, I'm more comfortable in my skin than I have ever been, except my hair. That's it. Except my hair. That's it. But anyway, definitely don't forget to hit that subscription button. Just had a little real talk right there. Don't forget to hit that subscription button and become part of the Sports Plus Life family. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment box below, and I'll definitely hit you back. But it's your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. This has been another episode of Sports Plus Life. I'm out this beer. Peace. Love you guys. Love that picture too.